and we'll move on to the some more topic on the variable itself, guys. Fine. So just to refresh what we discussed yesterday, I'm going to keep this one. So we have to do declare a variable. First we have to always declare the variable, right? So we have to declare. So declaring a variable is done with the syntax. We have to give the data type. Just I'm refreshing what we discussed yesterday, guys. Data type, and we have to give variable name. A variable name is an identifier. So this is a syntax of declaring a variable, and we have 8 data types supported by Java language. So all the 8 data types are as mentioned earlier: byte, short, int, long. All these are used for numeric value, numeric integer value, and we have float, we have double, and char, and boolean. So we have a boolean also, right? So total 8 data type to represent the different types of value, and after declaring a variable, so we have to do variable initialization. The variable initialization is nothing but we are assigning the value to the variable. So we take a variable name and we put assignment operator, and then we are going to put the value here, guys. So right hand side should be always the value, right? So if we take a typical example what we did, so I did one example, int st id. This is a declaration, and later we can initialize that with the value, some value, whatever you want we can initialize. And also we learned that yesterday that we have to first declare it and then you can initialize it, or you can declare and initialize in the same statement, or in the same statement, in the same line only we can do both declare and initialization, guys, right? So that is what we discussed in the last session. And also I told in Java language string is not a data type. String doesn't come under a data type, not a data type. That is very important. It's an object. We're going to learn that as what is an object, and later we're going to learn. So that is a one thing we should remember from last session. And another thing which we learned in the last session is a variable must be initialized before we use it in any kind of operations. So if we don't initialize a variable, the compiler will throw an error, so we get a compile time error. So is it a compulsory to initialize a variable in Java? Yes. So we have to initialize a variable in a Java language. If we don't initialize it, so we get a compile time error, guys, right? So this is what we discussed in the last session, and today we'll take some more examples on this variable, and we're going to learn how it works, how to get the values out of the program. We can do all those things, guys, right? So let's start with a new page. I'm going to get a new thing here, guys. Now I'll take some couple of examples. So first I'll explain the examples, and then I'll write a program, and I'll show you the code wise also. So let's understand first theory part of the examples, and then I'll write the code and execute the programs, guys. So the first example, right? So whenever we create a variable, guys, a variable, if we declare one variable int, a variable type of int x equal to 12, right? So I'm doing declaration and initialization of the variable. See, whenever we declare a variable in a computer memory, so always you should remember or try to understand with respect to memory, guys. In the memory, a location, a memory location will be reserved. A memory location will be allocated for this x variable, and that memory location name is x. And inside that x variable, inside that memory location the 12 will be kept, right? So that means we got a memory location. In that memory location we are storing the value called 12, right? Now what I'll do now, after this I'll write a statement. So my statement is system dot out dot println. So I'm going to write system dot out dot println of x. So I'm going to do println of x. I'm telling print the value of x. So right now in the memory the x value is 12. So my expected output in this line, so my output is 12. I should get a 12, guys. Right? So two simple statement. So where I'm declaring a variable x and initializing to 12, and I'm printing the value of x as what? Printing that x value on the output, and I'm going to get the output as what? 12, because right now in the x memory location I have a value 12. Now after these two lines, so in my program I will do like this, guys. X is equal to 30. Now if you observe this line is called as a initialization. It is not called as a declaration, guys. It is called as a initialization. And here if you observe, we are initializing a variable which is already initialized. Already it is initialized to 12. In the memory, if you observe, there is a 12 here. The value in the memory location is 12. Already we have put some value in that location. So that value I'm initializing it again. If we initialize a variable again, we call that as a reinitialization. So we call it as a reinitialization. The meaning of reinitialization is the meaning of this one, initialize again. Now what happens if I initialize again? So whenever you do reinitialization, means if I initialize again, it will remove the old value and put inside that the new value. So the old value will be removed from the memory location. It will erase the old value and it will put the new value in that particular memory location. Now when I do this line, when I execute this line, now what happens? It goes to the memory, guys. I'll erase this one. It will remove this one. Then what is the latest value now? The latest value should be 30. Now you might be thinking, sir, what happened to the old 12 which we kept earlier? So that has been removed from the memory. We cannot get back that. So whenever we do reinitialization, the old value will be replaced with the new value, right? So now what happens if I try to print the x value after reinitialization? I want to print the x, println x. Now tell me what should I get? So what is our expected output now? See in the memory, inside the memory, is it 12 or is it 30? So it's a 30. So right now it is 30 present in that memory location. So my expected output is 30. Why 30? Because the old value is replaced by new value in a step called reinitialization. Done? Now listen here, guys. So what we understand in this example, reinitialization means initialize again. In other words, replace the old value by new value, right? Now you can ask a question, sir, can I do once again? Sir, is it possible to reinitialize once again? Sir, I don't want 30 in that location, sir. Right now I want some other value. So if you want some other value, x is equal to, let's say I want 50, sir, in that location. So you just do x is equal to 50. Now again it is called as what? This step is called as what? Reinitialization. So I am doing reinitialization. Done? So now after this step now, so this is a statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4, statement 5. After statement 5, what actually happens in the memory? So that 30 will be removed from the memory. It will be removed from the memory, and we get here, instead of 30 right now we get what? 50. So we get a 50 over there. Done. Now if you write a sixth statement, I'll write a sixth statement, system dot out dot print ln of x. Now whenever you tell print ln of x, print system.out.println current value, always it prints the current value in the memory location. It will not take the old values, guys. What is the current value of your in the memory? It is something like, guys, today, this year, if I ask you what is your age, you will tell your current age. After in 2020, if I ask you what is your age, it will not be the current age. So it will not be the old age, guys. You should tell the current age, right? So the that will change. Now here x value will print the current value present inside the memory. So right now the current value inside the memory is 50. Right? Now what I want to tell, or what we are trying to understand with this concept, guys, with this example is very simple, guys. One simple statement. A variable can be reinitialized any number of times. Any number of times you want, you can reinitialize, but must be declared once. Observe, guys, I have declaration I have done only once. This is my declaration. So declaration I have done only once, but initialization I have done 3 times. Actually 3 times. First time is happening here, second time is happening in the line number 3, third time happening in the line number 5, or in the statement 5. A variable can be initialized any number of times, but the declaration of variable should be only one time your entire program, guys. Right? Whenever we access the variable, we get the current value of the variable, or rather than current value, you can also say the latest value. The current value of the value present in the memory will be that. Clear? So this is a simple example of reinitialization. Done? So if you have any questions, you can ping on the chat, or you can, as I told you, you can ping me on the Facebook or mail also. You can write, I can reply. Yes, or if better, if you can ping on the chat, I can answer then and there itself. Right? So please note down this one. I'll write this code and I'll execute and show you the output what we are expected 12, 30 and 50. Then, so I'm believing that you're all taking down the what I'm writing. So because whenever you have a doubt and if you want to refer it back, glance your content, so you should know, if you have these notes, and you should have the program also, guys. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, guys. Note down this one. Done? Okay. Okay, so let's write this program and I'll run and I'll show you the result And also I'll show you what happens if I try to declare multiple times. So I said here declaration should be one time, initialization can be done as many times you want. Right, what happens if I do multiple declaration, that also I'll show you guys. Right, so let me open the edit plus, and then I should go here, file, new, Java. So I got the structure, right? So I got the structure over there, right? Then I'll write the program. What was the last program name I gave? Program 4. So you can give any name, guys. I'm just following the last sequence where I left. Program 5. So let me save this one first. I'm going to save program 5.java. So I'm going to declare the same, all the statements for the 6 statements I wrote. I'll write it, I've explained, I'll write that one. Yes, x is equal to 12. Then I'm going to put system dot of what, parenthesis x. So it's a one-time declaration and initialization, and I'm printing the value of x. Then x is equal to 30. So this step is called as what, reinitialization. I'm doing reinitialization, and let me print after reinitialization. I should get the latest value, and x is equal to 50, and I'm going to get this one. I'll copy this line and I'll paste it here. Right. This is the 6th statement which I wrote. So I'm going to execute this one. Before execution, I have to do the compilation. So I have to open the command prompt first. So I'll open the command prompt. So then let me increase the font size of this one. Okay, guys. So if whenever we want to compile, I should go to the folder where the programs are kept. So it is in D drive, CD, AP, SSDC, under that classroom demo, under that basics. So after that, so Java C program 5.java. Okay. Next, if I compile this, so I should get the compilation successfully done, and then I'll execute. There's a command for execution. Yesterday we discussed this one, compilation command, execution command, everything. Right. So now I'll run this program. I should get the output, 3 prints I should get, 3 print output. First one is 12, second one is 30, the third one is what, 50. So we are getting the output as expected. So that means we have declared a variable once and we have done a reinitialization multiple times. Fine. Now what happens if I do redeclaration? Sir, I'll do the redeclaration again, sir. So in the line number 7, I already declared here, I'll redeclare again. So if you do redeclaration of a variable again and you try to compile your program 5.java, if you compile, see, it clearly tells you error. Your program at the line number 7, so you can see at the line number 7 I highlighted, is having an error. That error is, the reason is the variable is already declared and defined in your method. Why you are doing again? So why you are trying to do it again? Because the rule says that a variable has to be declared only once. We are not supposed to declare a variable more than once, but we can do as many times initialization. If you want, you can do it. So done. So that's the first concept on variable. We can declare once and initialize as many times we want. Fine. So quickly take down this program and I'll explain the next concept on variable, copying the variables, how to copy one variable to another variable. I'll explain that concept. Okay, so if you have done, I'll go to the slide so that I can explain the the copying of variable, how the copying happens and how it works. Right. Now let's take that slide, back to that slide. Okay. Okay. Let's do the next example. The next example is so I'm going to take let's say 3 variables. I'm going to declare 3 variables. So the second example, what we are learning today, 3 variables. One is int x with value 10. Another one int y with value 20. Another one int z with value 30. So if you just think about in the memory, so in the memory part, you will get 3 memory locations reserved. One memory location is called as x and its value is 10. Another memory location is called as y and its value is 20. And another memory location will be reserved and its value is what? 30. So whenever we create a variable, a memory will be allocated. Yes, when you declare a variable. So in your program, if you declare a variable, a memory gets allocated to hold the data in that memory, in the variable case. Right. Now, if you write a statement, so I'll be using this guys like this just for short form. This for short form. It will not work in computer. Just for explanation, I'm using it's my abbreviation. It's not a universal. It's my abbreviation. S represents system, O represent out, P represent print, println. So I'll say system.out.sop. In simple, I'll write SOP, and system.out.println. I'll just represent a short form SOP of X. I'll write SOP of Y. And I'll say SOP of Z. Now, the expected output as of now is this line should give me an output of 10. This line should give me an output of 20. This line give me an output of what? 30. 10, 20, 30. Fine. Now, so what we are trying to do, the next thing is now I will say like this guys, y is equal to x. Now if you observe, the right hand side is a variable, left hand side is also a name of a variable. So both are the variable names. Right hand side is not a value guys. Now in that case, what actually happens? What will happen here guys? How this execution happens? So this means here copy value of x to y. Means whatever the value present in the x, copy the value of x into y. Right? Now in the memory what will happen? So whatever the x value is there, that will be copied here guys. It will copy here. So what should happen in the memory now? This 20 will not be there, right? Instead we get 10. Why I'm getting 10 there? Because it is copying the x content of x or the value of x into the memory, into the y location, right? Now I will do one more. Z is equal to y. Now the same meaning, that's the meaning is going to be same now. Copy value of y into z. Put the value of y into z. Now what is the value of y here right now? What is the current value of y? It is 10. It's a 10 now. So what it will do now, it will copy this 10 to here. So that means here guys, I should have here, what I should, after this, I should not have 30 here. I must have here 10, right? So now if I print, if I say sop dot s dot o dot p dot of x as well as if I do like this, sop of y as well as sop of z, if I do, then what's the expected output for all this line? So I should get 10 here, 10 here, 10 here. Why all are printing 10? Because all the values now right now containing 10 guys. We copied one variable value to another variable by just using assignment operator and mentioning the name of the value. This can work perfectly if the data types are same. Observe here, all the data types are same. If the data types are same, copying one variable value to the another variable value is simple. Done. So how do we copy one variable to another variable? Just right hand side, left hand side should be one variable, right hand side should be the one variable. Right hand side we call it as a source, left hand side we call it as a destination. The source value will be copied into destination. Clear? So it's like this, destination is equal to source. So the copying will happen from source to destination, always from right hand side to left hand side. Done. So just note down this one. I'll write the program and I'll show you and run it and show you this. Fine. Okay. So now I'll write the program. How do I write the program now? How do I write that? I'll just go to the file and say new Java. So this is the 6th program we are learning, program 6. So let me save first. On a safer side, I'll first save it. Then I'll write int x is equal to 10. Then int y is equal to 30. Sorry, 20. I took 20. Int z is equal to 30. Print system dot out dot println of what? X. Then I'm going to print y. I'm going to print z. So this is I'm printing before copying. Right? Let me do the copy of the variable, guys. Y is equal to x. Copy the x. Say always right hand side will be source, left hand side will be destination. Right? Then z is equal to y. So copying, we can copy one variable to another variable, but make sure the data types are same. So after that, I'm going to print this one here, guys. I'm going to print this one. So now I should get the latest or the current value. The current value of x is 10, current value of y is 10, and current value of z is also 10, because we copied the x to y first, then y to z. So let's compile this program. Java C program 6 dot Java, then execute Java program 6. So my expected output should be, see here, first 3 prints 1, 10, 20, 3. Next all the 3 prints 10, 10, 10, because after copying we got the value of the x copied into y and then to z. Fine. So now we know how to copy one variable to another variable. So first step we know how to declare and initialize. Second step we know how to do the reinitialization of a variable. Next concept we learned how to copy one variable to another variable. Done. So note down this one, guys. So after this program I'll teach you one important concept in Java, how to get the constants. How do we use constants? What is a constant? I'll show you that example, next example. I'm believing that all of you are noting down this program and you're trying at your home. I don't know if you guys have installed JDK or not. So if you're not installed JDK and if you're not practicing, I told you initially, guys, if you don't practice, it's a waste. You will not make use of this program. It will not be useful for you also, guys. It's a waste program. It becomes a waste for you if you're not practicing. And if you practice this, I will, as I told in the first session, I'll guarantee you that you will love start writing program and you'll enjoy your life in developing applications, guys. And you will remember my content, you will remember APSC, SDC, lifelong, that because of this program I'm able to work in a good companies, good MNC. So good, I got a response from SVCW college that they are practicing. Okay, this is just the variable part. So we are done here, and so let's say one important thing, guys, and that important thing I'll show you. That was I was telling, I'll explain that we want to get the constant, right? See, constant. We want to see how to get a constant. A constant, we know that constant never change, right? Value it never changes, guys, right? Now throughout my career of training, guys, if you are there in a live or class sessions in front of me, I would have been made a big joke on this topic, but so I'll try to tell you what is a joke, but I cannot clearly convey, that's okay, but I can still tell you. So every time I'll ask the students, can you give me an example? It's not like a joke, it's just a common sense, guys. People will start laughing also when I say that. When I ask a question, can you give me a data which never changes? So I'll ask everyone in the classroom, in my regular class, to think about it. Think and give me a data which will never change, right? Throughout you have come across a lot of data from your school days to till today. You just think about anything you come across which data is never changing at all, right? Now when I ask that question, now you also people, now when you think, now if you just think from school days till today, I'm doing engineering till today, which data is not changing, which data is almost same. So when I learned also in the kid time also it is same, now also I'm youngster, youth, at this time also the same data, it's the same. Which one? When I ask that question, most of the student, common, it's a general, everyone, even I did this when I was in a school, college time. If someone asked to give me an example of constant data you come across, the first thing which comes into my mind as other student, I'll say, sir, pi values, sir. pi value from school days I'm learning. In Java, in engineering also I'm using that value, sir, but it is not changing at all, sir. It is always 3.14, right? So it's been 10 years, sir, in my education life. From there till today, it is the same, sir. So it's not at all changing. Means that data is constant. It is not changing. Now, if I ask some other example, give me some other than this pi, then people will think, sir, we learnt in physics, the speed of light will not change, sir. Speed of light will be same. That's okay, correct. And Planck's constant will not change. That's okay, correct. Planck's constant will not change. So we have come across lot of mathematical examples where the data is not changing. Now if I ask students, please guys, don't think mathematically. Come out of mathematical thing and then tell me anything which is not mathematics, but you have seen a constant data. So then student will think. One of the student suddenly tells, sir, PAN number, sir, I heard my papa is having a PAN number, sir, which is not changing, right? If someone tells in a classroom PAN number, immediately another will tell, sir, Aadhaar number, sir. So Aadhaar number will also not change. Another fellow will say, sir, driving license number, sir, the driving license. See, student attitude, if someone tells one number, so they all PAN number, Aadhaar number, ration card number. So like this, that card number will start explaining. It'll start thinking only in that lines. If someone starts with another example, he'll only think with a vehicle registration number, sir, bike number, car number, bus number. It's not at all changing, sir. From childhood, I was saying it's same number, sir. But the thing is here, very rare or no, I've seen very less in my batch, in my entire career, people will take their own date of birth as a constant. They'll never tell as an example. Now, is our date of birth is constant or is it changing every day, every year? No, date of birth is not changing. No one will tell that one. So this is where we tell you are not applying common sense. If someone tells this, he is thinking very commonly. His common sense is good. If someone telling all these things, PI, engineering, all values, if you're telling that, so he's telling what he learnt. He's not telling what is not learnt. So date of birth, no one has told you that. We know that date of birth is not going to change. So we expect in industry, anywhere, not only in IT industry, guys, anywhere you want to be success, you should have a good common sense. Leave it learning. Learning today, if you're not learnt in last year, you can learn today. Tomorrow also you can learn. At the age of dying also you can learn. Anytime you can learn. But applying common sense is more important thing in your life as well as in career also, guys. So whenever we give a data which will not change, think around with you. Think in you only you have that. A DNA, you can tell DNA sample is constant, it will never change. From one person to other person, it will be constant. So it person wise, I'm telling it's a person wise, but it's a unique. So for example, if you take your college, your college student ID is a constant, right? Once you give to the student, it will not change. We cannot change that one. Such kind of data, so we call it as a constant data. Now how do I get that constant data in Java? So here Java doesn't have any special keyword for creating a constant data. We don't have any const keyword. So in C language you have a const, static and all, but here we don't have a keyword like constant. Instead we have a keyword. So there is one keyword in Java. That keyword is called as final. We have a keyword by the name final. So if I use that keyword final, so it will tell the meaning of this one. The meaning of this keyword is, it tells that initialize. Say again in intro, most of them will give wrong answer, guys. Initialize once. You are supposed to initialize only once. So let's take only once. you're not supposed to do reinitialization, or in other words, whatever the value you initialize, that is final, boss. You're not going to change it. So before before initialization, so be careful. If you initialize, that is final, so you cannot change it. So that's why they given a name as final. That's all. You cannot do any modification to that data, that variable. How do I declare, sir? What is the syntax of declaring of that one? It's simple, guys. Same variable declaration only. You have to use the same variable declaration. You have to use a final, start with a final keyword, then data type. You have to mention the data type. Then we have to mention what? Variable name. Right? So whenever I create one variable or I declare a variable with a final keyword, we are telling the compiler as well as JVM that this value cannot be reinitialized multiple times. It can be initialized only once throughout its life of the program. Done. So examples, whatever I listed, you can give that example: pi, speed of light, Planck's constant, PAN number, Aadhaar card number, driving license number, as well as common sense. As I took the common sense, like date of birth, so your college ID, all those things you can do that one, or you can give that example. Right? Now let's try to do how to do this one. Let's see that one. Right? I'll go to the program now. Let's write a program and try to change it. Right? Yeah, student name, but you can have a same name, the students, but once you give a unique ID, yes, that becomes unique. Unique means once we define it, names and all we can change it. If you do one affidavit to the court and say that I've changed my name to Shah Rukh Khan, you can change. Salman Khan, you can change. Or if you are a fan of Prince Mahesh Kumar or Mahesh Babu, or you can change that one, or Prabhas, whatever you want. That you can do. Names you can change, but the data we cannot. The ID, student ID, once we initialize, we cannot change. Similarly, when you join the company, guys, we give an ID for each employee. So that ID, once we set an ID for one employee, it cannot be changed. So you cannot tell that according to my numerology, this number is not fit for me, please change and give me. That is not possible. Right? That's a constant. Data, once we initialize, we cannot reinitialize that program. Right? That particular data. Right? Okay. Now I'll write the program, a new Java. So program. So this is an error program, guys. Nothing new here. I'm going to show the error part of the program. I'll declare here one variable. Final int, let's say ID, right? And I'll put some value here now. So this is in general. I'm taking as a general ID. I'm put some value there, and let me print it. So let me print that. I'll put ID is. I'm going to remove this one. ID is plus ID. So I'm going to put that one here. So we have declared, we have initialized the variable ID, but we have also declared that ID as what? Final. Now up to this is fine. If I run, if I execute, you won't get any problem with. But let's compile this one. I'm going to compile this one. Program 7.java. Sorry, I did a mistake in command, spelling mistake. Java C. Right, and then I'll say Java program 7. Sorry. Again, I did a mistake. Okay. Now, see here, I got the output ID is 23987. That is what I initialized here. 23987. Done. Now, sir, what happens? Sir, let's try to do the reinitialization. I'll do the reinitialization. So let's compile now, right? So the moment I compile, the compiler will give you an error, and it clearly tells you that but boss, you cannot assign it again. You cannot assign a value to the final variable ID because you already assigned. You already initialized the value. Why you are initializing again in the line number 7? So I'll not allow you. I'll not allow you to do that. That's what the compiler is telling. As per the rule of Java language, once a variable is declared as a final, you have to initialize only once. You cannot do the reinitialization of it. So done. So in your project, when you are working in a project, so when you are working in an industry, and when developing an application, if you come across a data which has to be constant, it should not be changing its value, so then declare that as a final, guys. And this is the most common intro question. Tell me about final keyword. Java has given a final keyword. That's a direct question you get. Why Java has given a final keyword? Indirect question. What should I do in Java language to get a constant value? So how do I do that one? So then you have to explain the final. File, create a Java, new Java file, program 8. So let me save this one. I'll show you directly in the execution only, guys. Now what I'll do now, so there is a variable. I want to declare a variable of long type. So the long data type is used whenever you have to represent a big integer number. For example, if you take for example, I'll declare int phone number. The phone number is a big number, guys. It's a big number. So it's a 10-digit number. Let's say 9997777, right? Now, so this the digit is the size of this integer number is big. So and if I try to put into a variable of int type, so and if you compile, the compiler throws you error, guys. Java C program 8.java. So you're getting an error. So clearly it is telling that integer number is too large. So when it is a large integer number, so we have a other data type. So that data type I should use it as what? Long. Right? Now when I use a long is a data type which is used to represent a long integer numbers or large integer numbers. Right? Now again if I compile this program, we get the same error. See, even though I have declared as a long data type, so here the difference is integer data type cannot hold it. So for that reason I'm declaring this as a long data type. Even though I'm declaring as a long data type, so I'm still getting the same error. It is integer number is too large. So what's the reason here? So the reason is here, guys, whenever we have a number which should be treated as a long integer, so then we have to compulsorily prefix it L here. So we have to do the compulsory prefixation of what? L. If I don't, sorry, not prefix, sorry, it's a suffix. You have to do the suffix L, guys. If you're not suffixing the L, then the compiler will not take that as a long integer number. By default, it will take it as just an integer number. So because of that reason, the compiler is throwing the error. Now, if I compile, you get the same error, guys. Sorry, you will not get the error. Sorry, you should not get the error because we have fixed the problem. See, there is no error pointed, right? So wherever you come across a long integer number, the value, if you want to represent a long integer number value, you have to suffix with L. Similarly, there is one more, the float variable, guys. So whenever we declare a float variable, let's say marks, I want to represent marks, so let's say 65.21, right? So now, again, if this marks, if I compile this code, so you get a compile time error saying that it is an incompatible type. It is not treated, this is not treated as a float type. Instead, it is treated as a double type. If you want to make it to treat as a float type, so we have to suffix here F. This should be done only for two data type in Java, guys. While assigning a value to the long variable, the value should be suffixed with L. While assigning the value to the float variable, the value should be suffixed with F. So now you will not get error, guys. If I compile again, so we won't get any error. The compiler understands it's a different types of values. There's no error. So observe, we are not getting any error here, guys. Then, sir, now what happens if I print, sir? Okay, sir, I understood that we have to assign with the suffix with L and F to differentiate. So the same thing if I print, what happens if I print that one, right? So now if I print, guys, while printing and while doing some operations, it will not consider the L and F, guys. It will only consider when assigning the value. So during assigning the value, we have to differentiate that one. To tell that, to indicate that we have to use the suffix value, guys. So otherwise, no need. So if I print this one, you will get the normal values without suffix. So you'll get here now. See here, 99999 and 7777 5 times 7 will get, and here 65.21, right? Only while assigning the value we have to suffix, that too for two data types, guys. One is for a float, other one is for long data type, not for all the data. It has to be done for only these two data type, right? Clear? Okay, take down this program, guys. Done? Okay. Now, if you want to do this kind of data, if you want to use this data, so we should try to know how to use operators, guys. The variables will be always associated with the operators. So we take the operators and we do some operations with the operators, and as per our requirement, guys, as per our development part, right? So Java, as other language, Java also allows you to have arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operator, unary operator, ternary operator. So like this we get all, as usual, other language we have all the operators here also, guys, right? and operators. I'll give examples. And if you get a time, guys, so that operator material is in my Facebook page. In the page there is a link called, in my Facebook page there is a link called Java operators and examples. So you can download that operators, that particular page. You can download that material. So in that material, all the examples of operators and syntaxes, how to use, everything is there. It is there. You can read that. You can take down the soft copy from my. So remember, I shared my Facebook URL, this one also, that name. Please go to my page and download. So wherever there is a material, I'll tell you guys, you can download and you can use it, right? So let's start with the simple arithmetic operators, guys. So plus operator, subtraction operator, division operator, multiplication operator. We'll take that example and we'll write a program with it. So now what I'll do now, first thing I'll do, I'll create a separate folder, guys, because we are starting with the operators. It's in the classroom diagram. It's not a basics. I'm going to create a separate folder called operators. Operators in Java, right? So what I'll do now, I'll close all these programs. I'll start afresh with a new program, program 1, program 2, program 3, like this. I'll start that in the operators, guys. Right now, let's a new program 1, right? So now I'm going to say this one first. Operators. Let's declare 3 variables, guys. I'm going to declare 3 variable, x is equal to 10, or x is equal to 5, as well as y is equal to 6, and z is equal to, int z is equal to 4, right? So I'm having 3 variables and I'm initializing the 3 variables, right? So now I'll do the first operation, guys. So the first operation, so I'm going to do int result 1 is equal to x plus y. So do the addition of x value and y value and store the result of that addition in the variable called result1, res1. I'm giving a short form, res1. Always, guys, this is called as an expression. It's whenever we combine variables and operators, so we call it as a expression. So always expression will be evaluated first. That value of that expression will be copied into the variable, guys, in the left hand side, right? So now I'm going to if I print res, so if I print the res, guys, let's say print x and y value first. So I'm going to print now here now. Put this one. I'll put it here now. X value is, how do I print that one? X, and I want to print the y value, and I want to print the z value. So let me print the x value, z value, and y value first, and then this is the addition, the result 1. res1 is, so I'm going to put res1, right? So now my expected output is, so here, guys, I should change this folder. I should go to the folder called operators, cd operators. Then I should compile this program. I have to compile the program, program1.java. Then I should execute the program. Now I should get 564, and the result of addition of 5 and 6 is what? 5 and 6 is what? 11. I got the 11, right? So let's do the other operation and say int res2. res2 is equal to, let's say it's y minus z. So, sorry, x is equal to y minus z. So take the difference of y and z, where y is minus by z. So print that result. So I'm going to copy this presenting now. Print that result. So result 2. I'm going to print that result 2 here now. Fine. So print that particular result now, and when I print that one, So I should get 2. Compile it, execute, I should get 2 here, guys. So done. So this is addition and subtraction. If you want to do multiplication, res3 is equal to, right, res3 is going to be what, multiplication. I'll do 6 y star x or y star z. Let's take y star z and then print. So result 3, and I'll do the result 3 part. Then I will take one more, int res result 4 is equal to result 3 divided by 2, or let's take y divided by 2 only, guys, right? So divide a number by another number. So y value 6 divided by 2, that result I'll keep it now, put it here now, result 4. Now all the operations I'm showing you now, guys. If I compile this, let's say arithmetic operations I'm showing you, and execute. So we got all the values here, guys. Addition of these two is 11, and difference between these two is 2. Product of these two is 24, and x divided by 2 is 3. Fine. So, and simple program to do the arithmetic operation, and see, guys, right hand side is an expression. So after the expression is evaluated, we get the result. So that result will be assigned into the variables. I have declared a variable res1, res2, res3 and res4. Done. Okay, let's take down this program, guys. Fine. Okay. So if you have done, okay. Okay. So with this now, I can take another example. Well, I'll use the slide, guys, which is the important one. And I'm going to use the slide. New one. Fine. There is an operator called modulus that I'll cover in control statement. Tomorrow I'll start that and I'll explain all the things, right? So before that, today we will see with one important operator before we start the control statements, how to use if statement and loop statement. So I'm going to teach you a operator called unary operator, which is very important to understand the loop conditions and all, right? So unary operator in Java we have plus plus as well as minus minus. So plus plus is called as an increment operator, whereas minus minus is called as a decrement operator, right? So the plus plus always, the result of plus plus is increment by 1. It will always increment the value by 1. Whereas minus minus, it is nothing but decrement by 1. Increment by 1 and decrement by 1. So wherever you use a decrement operator, the value will be reduced by 1. So whenever we use an increment operator, the value will be increased by 1. Fine. Now, and listen guys, all this a program, whatever I'm explaining, I will give you the different examples, variety of examples. You should analyze on the spot and tell me the output, what is the expected output. So later you can do this as an assignment. So all the examples you can try it and run it in your program. And I'll not run any of this program, guys. It's a part of your assignment. You should do this one, right? But I'll explain everything. All the possible combination I'll explain, right? Now here guys, let's take increment part. So I'm going to take the increment. So increment operator. That is plus plus together. The increment operator is divided into a post increment. We can call it as a post increment, or we can call it as a pre-increment. Done. So if you write like this, example, if you write like this, x plus plus, it is called as a post increment. And if I write like this, plus plus x, it is called as a pre-increment. So if you write after the variable, it is a post. If you write before the variable, prefix it, we call as a pre, suffix it, we call as a post. Done. So both are increment operators. Both what is the result of both? Sir, I do post or I do increment, pre-increment, post increment or pre-increment. So what is the result, sir? The result will be always increment the variable by 1, right? A simple guys, a simple example I'll take now. We'll start with a simple example, right? So I'm having one variable int x. Let's say its values 10, right? So I've written an x value or initialize the x and its value is 10. So now I will do like this, x plus plus, right? Then I will print the x value. Now when I do x plus plus and if I print the x value, it clearly tells that you are incrementing the value of the x by 1. It's a post increment, but it's incrementing the value x by 1 now. So now in the memory, the x value will not be 10 guys. It will be 1. It will be incremented by 1. Whatever the value it is there, 10 plus 1. So what is the result of x now? If I print this one, I should get what? 11. Right? Now if I do plus plus x, sir, I'll do plus plus x next now. The plus plus x also will do the same thing. Increment the current value by 1. What is the current value in the memory? Is it 10 or 11? So it should be 11 guys, because already the 10 is incremented by 1, it becomes 11. So now I'm incrementing again, then if I print that one, I should get 12. Fine. So why I got a 12? Because in the first, this is a post increment. In the post increment, it's incremented by 1. and this is a pre-increment, it is incremented by again 1. Done. Now if I do decrement, so let's say plus x minus minus, it's a decrement. So current value of x is 12, the 12 will be decremented by 1. So now if I print x guys, it will be 11, right? Now again in your program, if you do like this, if you try to do this one, if you do minus minus x, then and after that if I print, x will be 10, right? See, whether you do post increment or a pre increment or post decrement or p decrement, the value will be always incremented by 1 or decremented by 1. Other than 1, it will not increment guys. It will not suddenly increment with the big value, it will suddenly reduce with the big value. It will always increment or decrement by 1 only. Done? Take down this, and then the next examples we'll see more examples guys. So note down this one guys. Okay, so let's take the examples one by one guys. I'll go to the new slide, I'll create a new one, right? Right. Now I'll take one example guys. Let's take, so you should answer guys, try to answer this one, then if it is wrong I'll correct it and I'll explain how it works. But I want attempt from you guys. First I will take one variable x is equal to 0, then I will take another variable y is equal to 0, two variables x and y is equal to 0. Done. Then I will write a simple statement y is equal to x plus plus. Now it is an expression, it is not like a previous simple example, it is an expression, and this expression is a post increment. It's a post increment, right? So I'll do the post increment, and then after that I'm going to print SOP of x, SOP of y. Take a time, analyze, and tell me what is the expected output as per you, as per your analysis. Even if it is wrong, it's fine guys. Even if it is right, it's well and good. If it is wrong, I'll correct you. But I want answer, I want to try from you guys. Right. So what will be the print? What is the x value when we print? Whenever we print, what will be the output for the x and what will be the output for y? But here guys, I've done some changes in the statement 3. I've done some changes. It's a post increment as well as assignment. Okay, the clear difference I'll tell you. So I got a question from GIT. What is the clear difference? That's what I'm teaching you now. You'll come to know what is the clear difference between post and pre-increment. So okay, from Chaitanya College, I got answer 0 and 1. So any other answer? What should be the x value and y value? Okay, from BBIT I got x is equal to 1, y is equal to 0. If same college has a multiple answers, you can tell guys answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. That's okay. The student, if they have different answer, it's fine. Okay, GIT I have one more answer, x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. Good. I'm not getting from QISCET college and SVCW. And try with your see whatever you learned so far, try to answer it whether it is right or wrong. So will not nothing will lose, you will not lose anything guys. If you just try and say okay, so we got from SVCW college, SVC x1 y is equal to 0. So let me get the answer from QISCET. Don't worry, I'll explain later. You can see whether your answers are correct or not. Okay, so I got an answer from that college also. X is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. Okay, so good guys. So you tried. So I think I got the correct answer out of you also guys. Some of you have given the correct answer. So let's analyze which one is the correct answer, right? How it is the correct answer, right? Okay, for this guys, let's now they asked me the difference. What is a post and pre? So that's now we'll come to know what's a post and pre difference. Now in a memory, I'm just writing a memory diagram. In the memory, listen carefully. If you have any questions, any clarification, you can ask me guys. So when this line is executed, we get one memory location reserved and its value is 0. And when this line is executed, we get one more memory location reserved and its value is 0. Right? Now the important part, when this line is getting executed, right, it is a post increment. Post increment always tells, post increment meaning of post increment is use current value, use current, or it is our current value in the operation, whatever the operation you are doing, use the current value in the operation, comma, post the operation. Post the operation means after the operation. Post the operation means we say after, rather than post you can say after, right? After operation, increment x by 1. Increment the value by 1. So in general, instead of x, I'll write value. Yes. Increment the value by 1. The variable value, right? Now, so this statement guys, I'll write this one. The statement, think like this guys. Y is equal to x plus plus, right? Now as per the post, it indicates first to do this one, first to do this part, first copy the x to y, don't do the increment of x, first copy the x to y. Now x will be copied to y, right? Now x and y value both are same, that copy will not have any impact, so it will be y will be 0. After copying, increment the x. So what it has to do now, after the copying, post, after the copy operation, increment the x value by 1. So now the x which is 0 will be eliminated and in that location we get 1, right? So after this statement, now if I print x and y, what is my expected output now? Now you can tell all of you guys, what is the expected output here? X is what? What is x value? 1, and What is the y value? It is what? 0. Right? So you must get x as 1 and y as 0. Done? So this is because it's a post increment, right? Now the same program, if I write like this, guys, I'll give another example. The same program, I'll do like this: int x is equal to 0, int y is equal to 0, y equals plus x. After that, system dot out dot println x, system dot out dot println y. Now here it is a this line is which increment? Pre-increment, guys. If it's a pre-increment, so the meaning of pre-increment is, what's the meaning of pre-increment here? It means first increment the current value, then use in the operation. So you can see the difference here, guys. Here it will tell first use the current value in the operation, after the operation increment it. But in case of pre-increment, first increment the value, then use it in the operation, right? So now this example, if you write this example, y is equal to sorry, I did it. So y is equal to, so this one is plus x. So if you take this one, so it will say first you do this one, first increment it, then after that you copy, after you do assignment, right? So when I first increment the x in the memory, it will become 1. So in the memory x will be 0, it will become 1. Then copy that 1 to y. So y will be having 1. So both in this case I should get the output 1 and 1. Right? So post increment means use the current value then increment it. Pre-increment means increment first, then use the current value, then use the result of the increment. Done? So are you clear, guys? So if you see which one will be first, which one will be second, that is the thing here. This is the first in this case, this is second, and whereas this is first, and sorry, this is second here, and this will be first. Incrementing will be first, and then assigning will be second. Whereas in post increment, assign first, then increment. Fine. So please note down this one. So if you have any clarity, if you have any questions, you can ask me, guys. Right? Once again, okay, note on this. Fine. Okay, so I'll take the next example. You'll see some more little bit tricky in the next example, guys. Fine. Now I'll give the question, I'll give this expression, try to figure out, and again I'll correct it if it is wrong. Right. So now you can figure out because we know the meaning of it. Right. Another example. Int x is equal to 0. Int y is equal to 0. X is equal to x plus normal addition. It is not a unary operator. Normal addition plus x. Just the previous example I'm just extended with one addition operator. This is post increment, this is additional operator. Don't get confused there. Right? Now analyze quickly and tell me what might be the result of x and, sorry, both I'm printing here x, I should type here y. What is the result of x and y after that expression? Post increment indicates first use the current value, then increment it and do the operation. Pre-increment means first increment it, then use it in the operation. So can anyone guess this one? What is the result of this one? Now the expression is little bit bigger compared to the previous example, guys. Okay, I got Chaitanya College as, and also I got from SVCW. So they're saying both are 1, and VVIT is telling x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. Good. GIET college, I think I not got from that one, that college. So GIT also good, I got x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, and one more QIS CET college. Okay, I'll explain how to analyze this program, right? First thing I'll erase this one. Simple, guys. Use the method what I explained just now, right? So always use the substitution method if the expressions are bigger expression, right? So now here, so we have x in the memory, guys. We have a x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Now here, until this entire expression is completed, assignment will not happen, right? So because the right hand side expression should be completed first, then the expression will happen, guys. Then the evaluation of expression, the assignment will happen. Until that, it will not happen. So we should not it will not do the assignment until we complete the expression, right? Now how this expression will be completed? Because we are using a post increment, it will use x here, substitute x current value. The current value of x is what? 0. Immediately it will increment that x by 1. Uses the current value, increment the x by 1. Now next it comes to the other operand plus. Now here what is the value of x? It's not normal here, guys, normal variable. What is the value here? The value should be used here what? 1, right? 0 plus 1, result is 1. That 1 will be assigned to the y, right? So now the y will be 1. Now if I print x and y, both should be 1 and 1, right? So why? Because it's a big expression, guys. Because of the big expression, we should analyze like this, right? So first right hand side expression should be completed, then only the value will be assigned to the left hand side. Done. Now if I take another example, I'll just take one more example, guys. Now you can analyze. I'll give a little bit bigger. So if you start analyzing in the same way, you'll get the correct output. y is equal to 0, I'll say y is equal to x plus 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 x plus x plus plus. Then sorry, I'll print SOP of x, SOP of y. So now analyze. It's the same substitution method. If you apply, you'll get the answer, guys. So analyze now. Okay. So I got answer from Chaitanya College, answer from GIET, 2 answers from GIET, and let me get some other answers. Let me see. So I got SVECW, substitute, guys. If you substitute, you'll get the perfect answer. Analyze and substitute. Okay, so I'll explain again. I got with GIT one more answer. Fine. Okay, so let's analyze now. I'll show you how to analyze this one. Fine. So now here is. So now take the memory. In the memory, x is equal to 0 initially, y is equal to 0 initially. Right? Now first, what's the substitution here? So use the current value of x. The current value of x is what? 0. Immediately increment it to 1 in the memory. Plus, what is the current value of x? 1. Plus, post increment. Post increment means use the current value and increment that by 1, 2. Right? So no more expression here now. Add these 3. So 0 plus 1 plus 1, 2. So 2 will be assigned into the x, y now. So you'll get the value what? 2 and 2 for both. Done. So until substitution happens and until the expression is evaluated on the right hand side, assignment will never happen, never going to happen. Fine. Now I'll do a small change, guys. I'll write here only this line, this entire line. If I do a small change here, I'll write here. Right. So just I'll say y is equal to x plus 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 x plus 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 x. So this is a post. I'm using both now here. This is a post increment. This is what? Pre-increment. So instead of post here, I'm using pre-increment. Can you tell me what is the result of this one now? Can you guess what might be the result? Analyze, try to analyze and tell me, guys. Okay. Which one should be 3? Okay, I got answers. I got the answers. So I got answer from GIT, Chaitanya Engineering College. Other college? Yes, good. SVECW? Good. VVIT? QISCIT? Okay, good. So I want from QIS CET college. Okay, good, pretty good. So all of you got the correct answer, guys. So good, you have started analyzing. So very good. So now, now what's substitution I should do now? So here, guys, it's 0 here plus 1 here plus what should be the value. Now in the memory, x will be first, it will be changed to 0 to 1. So now it's a pre-increment. So pre-increment, as per the definition, as per the meaning, pre-increment, first increment it by 1, it will be 2, then use the 2 here now, right? So now the y is 3 and x will be 2. Then, right? So okay, good, because it's a pre-increment, it's not a post-increment. If it's a post-increment, first use 1 and then increment it. Done? Fine. Now, let's try with the last example for today's case. I'll give a little bit bigger expression. So let me try, let me see how many of you will do that one. Int x is equal to 0, int y is equal to 0, y is equal to, carefully analyze, x plus 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 x plus x plus 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 x plus 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 x. Enough. Well, I'll stop here only this one, this expression. So don't get confused here, guys. This is plus addition operator. These are all additional operator. Just to differentiate, I'm circling that one, guys. So now can you guess and tell me what is the result when I print SOP of x, SOP print of y? Initial values of x is 0, initial value of y is 0. Good. So I got quickly from SVCW college. Very good. Then okay, Chaitanya gave a different answer. Let me see. Okay, GIT and SVC college answers are similar. Chaitanya answer is deviated, but I don't know whether it's right or wrong. So two college answers are same. Other college? Come on guys, substitute. If you substitute, so only thing you should know, it is a pre or post. Post means use the current value and then substitute. Use the current value and then increment. Post pre means increment and substitute. You need to trace the previous value, what is the current value, and increment and decrement. Whatever increment or post increment or pre increment you should analyze. That's all. Okay, I got VVIT. Good. Okay, let's analyze now. Okay. Now what's the value I should use here? I'll use a pen. What's the value I should use here? So here I should use what? I'll write memory here. For x is initially 0. For y it is a final value we'll get now. X is initially 0. Substitute x becomes 1 because it's a post. Observe, this is a pre, guys. It's a pre-increment, means first increment the value to use true here. Then again it's a unary operator, but it's a post. Post means use the current value and then increment it. So now the x value is 3. Again here, guys, post increment. Don't get confused here. Again it's a post increment. So what it has to do now? 3, but x should be 4. Then plus pre-increment. Pre-increment means first increment 5, then this one, right? So now here 5 will be used here. So what's the result of this addition now? So 8, 10, 12. So y should be assigned with what? 12, and x should be 5. So the correct answer is 5 and 12. So almost everyone got the correct answer, guys. Right? Clear? Done? Now any expression in the intro panel or in the written test, if you get with the unary operators, so I think you can solve it. You can solve it yourself. Just substitute and use that, guys. Fine. Okay, so this comes to an end of operators, a variable, and today's session variable, an introduction to the arithmetic operators I did. So tomorrow we will have control statements. We'll start with the control statement. With that control statement I will cover relational operators and the logical operators. So tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we'll see the control statement examples. So then after that we'll see the functions. So once we finish the functions, we can start object-oriented programming. Done?